In this and in the next lecture, I'll show you how to install custom terminal on a Mac and how to install custom shell. But what is terminal and what is shell? If you use Mac, you know that there is default built-in application called terminal. And I have used it in previous lectures. Let's actually open up terminal. Okay, terminal was opened and here actually you see terminal window. And the terminal is just graphical user interface. Inside of the terminal you actually use shell. And by default we use built-in shell on a Mac called bash. That's why here in the header of this window you see bash. What you can do with terminal? You can change size of the text by pressing Command plus or Command minus. But personally I like to expand the application windows to full screen. Of course I can use this arrow and make it full screen like that, but usually I like to double click on a header of application and make it full screen like that. But in case with terminal you see that it wasn't expanded to full screen and you see here this space. If I make window larger, you will see that the size of the window is adjusted as well. And that's what I don't like personally in terminal. Also you see that when font size is really large, there is no padding between letters and the upper edge of this window. Of course, there are some preferences that you can adjust. For example, you can change default font size and default font. You can do that here. Go to Terminal, Preferences, and go to Text. You can choose, for example, custom theme here. Let's choose, for example, Pro theme. And after choosing, you need to click Default button, this one. And now I need to close Terminal application and open it up again. Choose here Terminal, Enter, and here you'll see again this small window, but in other colors, because we have adjusted our color theme. We can also try to change font size and font. Let's go back to Terminal Preferences, again Text, and here default font is Monaco with size 10, and I can change font size here. Let me choose, for example, 24 instead of 10. Let me close this window and close these settings. Again, I need to restart terminal, close this window, open it up again, and now I see increased font size. But again, if I'll double click on the header, you'll see that the window itself will not be full screen, and here you see this gap. There are also other things that I personally don't like in terminal. That's why many developers choose to use another terminal application called iTerm2. But please note that terminal and iTerm2 are just graphical user interfaces for shell. And in order to change look of the shell itself inside of this window, we will install custom shell as well. And we will install shell called Z shell, or shortly ZH. And we will use it in iTerm2 instead of built-in bash shell. Okay, let's close this terminal window and go to web browser. And let's start by installing iTerm2. And after that, we will install custom shell called Z shell, or shortly ZH. In a web browser, please navigate to iTerm2.com. Of course, if you use Mac, same as I do. And here you'll see download page for iTerm2 application. iTerm2 is actually terminal emulator. It is replacement for built-in terminal on a Mac. Here below you'll find download link. Let's click on it. Let's unzip downloaded archive, and here you'll see iterm.app file. And I'll simply drag it to my applications like that. And now I'm able to open it up. And here in a spotlight, just type iterm and select application from applications folder, this one. Enter. And new terminal window was opened. I can make it full screen by double clicking here on a header. And I can increase font size by pressing Command and plus, like that. And notice that in a header you see bash. And that means that inside of this terminal window, bash shell was automatically opened. And bash is built-in default shell on a Mac. And now it's time to install custom shell called ZH. And we will run this custom shell inside of the iTerm2 application. Let's install ZH in the next lecture. I'll see you in a moment. Bye bye.